This module entails the IMO structure and talks about the role and responsibilities of each committee under the IMO framework. As a specialized agency of the United Nations, IMO is the global standard-setting authority for the safety, security, and environmental performance of international shipping. Its main role is to create a regulatory framework for the fishing industry that is fair and effective, universally adopted, and universally implemented. In other words, its role is to create a level playing field so that ship operators cannot address their financial issues by simply cutting corners and compromising on safety, security, and environmental performance. This approach also encourages innovation and efficiency. Shipping is a truly international industry, and it can only operate effectively if the regulations and standards are themselves agreed, adopted, and implemented on an international basis. In IMO, which is the forum at which this process takes place. The organization consists of an assembly, a council, and 5 main committees: the Maritime Safety Committee, the Marine Environment Protection Committee, the Legal Committee, the Technical Cooperation Committee, and the Facilitation Committee, and a number of subcommittees support the work of the main technical committees. This is the organization structure. This is the highest governing body of the organization. It consists of all member states and it meets once every 2 years in regular sessions, but may also meet in extraordinary session if necessary. The Assembly is responsible for approving the work program, voting the budget, and determining the financial arrangements of the organization. The Assembly also elects the Council. The Council is elected by the Assembly for 2-year terms beginning after each regular session of the Assembly. The Council is the executive organ of IMO and is responsible under the Assembly for supervising the work of the organization. Between sessions of the Assembly, the Council performs all the functions of the Assembly, except the function of making recommendations to governments on maritime safety and pollution prevention, which is reserved for the Assembly by Article 15J of the Convention. As you can see, the other functions of the Council is laid down explicitly. The MSC is the highest technical body of the organization. It consists of all members. The function of the Maritime Safety Committee are to consider any matter within the scope of the organization concerned, with aids to navigation, construction, and equipment of vessels, manning from a safety standpoint, rules for the prevention of collisions, handling of dangerous cargoes, maritime safety procedures and requirements, hydrographic information, logbooks, and navigational records, marine causality investigations, salvage and rescue, and other matters directly affecting maritime safety. The MEPC, which consists of all member states as well, is empowered to consider any matter within the scope of the organization concerned with prevention and controlling of pollution from ships. In particular, it is concerned with the adoption and amendment of conventions and other regulations and measures to ensure their enforcement. The MEPC was first established as a subsidiary body of the Assembly and raised to full constitutional status in 1985. The Legal Committee is empowered to deal with any legal matters within the scope of the organization. The committee consists of all member states of IMO. It was established in 1967 as a subsidiary body to deal with legal questions which arose in the aftermath of the Torrey Canyon disaster. The Legal Committee is also empowered to perform any duties within its scope which may be assigned by or under any other international instrument and accepted by the organization. The Technical Cooperation Committee is required to consider any matter within the scope of the organization concerned with the implementation of technical cooperation projects for which the organization acts as the executing or cooperating agency, and any other matters relating to the organization's activities in the technical cooperation field. The Technical Cooperation Committee consists of all member states of IMO, was established in 1969 as a subsidiary body of the Council, and was institutionalized by means of an amendment to the IMO Convention, which entered into force in 1984. The Facilitation Committee was established as a subsidiary body of the Council in May 1972 and became fully institutionalized in December 2008 as a result of an amendment to the IMO Convention. It consists of all member states of the organization and deals with IMO's work in eliminating unnecessary formalities and red tape in international shipping by implementing all aspects of the Convention on Facilitation of International Maritime Traffic 1965 and any matter within the scope of the organization concerned with the facilitation of international maritime traffic. In recent years, particularly, the committee's work, in accordance with the wishes of the Assembly, has been to ensure that the right balance is struck between maritime security and facilitation of international maritime trade. The MSC and MEPC are assisted in their work by a number of subcommittees, which are also open to all member states. These are the subcommittees who assist the MSC and MEPC in their work. The Secretariat of IMO consists of the Secretary General and some 300 international personnel based at the headquarters of the organization in London. Regional presence is important to the IMO. Therefore, there are now 5 regional coordinators or advisors for technical cooperation activities in Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, Kenya, Philippines, and Trinidad and Tobago. The budget for every following year is adopted in the previous year. And most importantly, the contributions to the IMO budget are based on a formula which is different from that used in other United Nations agencies, in that the amount paid by each member state depends primarily on the tonnage of its merchant fleet. In conclusion, the majority of conventions adopted by IMO usually fall in 3 main categories: maritime safety, prevention of marine pollution, and liability and compensation, especially in relation to damage caused by pollution. IMO has a necessary framework to address climate change issues, and reduction in greenhouse gas from shipping is being negotiated at the IMO.